Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you are having an amazing day. So things are moving fairly quickly. We have about a week and a half, and I have to be out of my old place. So in the previous video, I discussed getting the floors done. The floors are already in. I'm going to give you guys an update, but for right now, we're just trying to get things done because the movers will be there in about 4 days.
I did the 4 inches down and then 4 inches facing that way, and then I leveled everything out. So the inside box is where the boxes are going to be at for this, and it goes all the way from the front to the back in terms of the measurement. So we're going to be tackling that. Ooh. Let me go put this in.
And we got goggles today.
I'm not wearing no goggles, babe.
Yes, you are. Your team want to see you wear goggles, so we're wearing goggles.
Am I wearing? Am I wearing goggles because you want me to wear goggles and you don't want anyone to say, why is she not wearing goggles?
We're doing it because it's the right thing to do. Okay? I need you in one piece.
Oh, I need you. Where's the hammer?
It's right here.
I can see it too.
So we started off attempting to do the base trim, but because everything is not 100% set up in the house, that after I got myself ready and prepared to do the first cut, it was good. It was good, but I was just like, you know what? I don't want to bother with it. I'm gonna leave it. So my uncle actually came in about 2 or 3 days later, and him and my boyfriend ended up doing the base trim all over the house. And so they did the measurement and they did the cuts and they got it accomplished because I really was attempting to do it. And then when I realized that it was going to require more of a cut, it's a different cut. You have to flip the boards on their face and then back. It's a little, we figured it out. But this particular day, I wanted to go ahead and move with what I already knew, which was going to be the box trim. So I did attempt to do it. We got it all together and prepared. And then after the second cut, I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. Let me leave it for my uncle to do it. So now we're positioning the machine to do a different cut. We're going to start cutting the trim. That way it'll be a little bit easier. So what you guys are going to see now is me attempting to cut the base, but we definitely gave up.
You want to be gangster so bad. I feel sorry for you. That one you want to be gangster, I feel sorry. Hey, you want to upside? That's why I need to bump that phone so we can leave it up, you know?
Well, I'm going to do this first.
We got 2 more pieces. Let's stabilize it.
Oh, babe. Wait a minute.
You got to put that 0 to 45 degree.
45 on this, right?
No. Yeah. There you go. Are you sure you got it going the right way?
So you got it going the right way? Yeah.
If there was ever a moment in time that I needed to tell me, Nadia, this ain't it, it was when I took my shoes off. But as you can see, I still attempted to move forward. But considering that we were already on a budget, we had already kind of specified how much we were going to spend, I made a very small cut. And I said, you know what? Before I do any more damage and it costs us any money, let me stop. And so I did stop. And so I think it is really important while doing these projects in your home, really mastering the art of walking away and feeling okay about walking away and letting someone else who's a bit more professional, if you want to pay someone, to handle it. But we walked away, and like I said, my uncle, my boyfriend, ended up doing all the base trim later on, and they did a really great job because over the course of 3 days, they got like 80% of the house fully done and completed, and so it still got done.
Hey, look Looking like we getting something started today. Cause our body no play. Tell them girl levels to the glow. Murder on the dance floor, how you moving it, babe? I'm taking the bait. I just wanna dance with you all night, yeah. Me no care what happen tomorrow. Girl, you got me caught in the moment. Feeling like I knew you all my life, oh. I can take my eyes off you, baby. When you pull me close to the body, get the party started now, now, now. Girl, you such a good find. You deserve a good time. Let me hold you down, down, down. Body floating like a cruise line. Won't you be my moonshine? Cause you are. Caught it like a running back, all over your body like a lumberjack. Me and you against the world, we running that. Tell them bring the bottles to the section, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm celebrating with the baddest one here. Looking like a goddess in here. Wanna lose myself with you tonight, yeah. Forget all about all my sorrows. Girl, you got me caught in the moment. It's like I knew you all my life, oh. Baby, I can feel the connection. I'm ready to start a commotion.
And when it comes to a picture box frame, we got it in the bag. Y'all, this part was absolutely exciting because, like I said, I already did all the measurements. We've already mastered this because this thing is all around upstairs. It's in the bedroom. And so we had this part here mastered. So what I ended up doing, instead of trying to go around and cutting several different pieces, I cut everything all at once. I had the measurement. I knew the height. So I had all of the height all around this entry done. So as Babe was using the level to make sure that it was all leveled out, I in turn was getting all the pieces ready, which left him on the ladder with the nail gun. And then I was cutting all the pieces. And whenever his arms got tired or he was tired, we would then switch. When it came to the entry, I had already started. And so when he came in, he pretty much did all of the nailing. I just handed him all the material. And like I said, this right here, you could pretty much say like we were really, really great at figuring this part out. And so moving around the house to put the trim all over was an easy task. If you had to ask me right now how much we spent on trim altogether, I would say maybe about like $800 because we did about 2 different trips and we had to get a truck because we purchased some 8 feet and then we also had to purchase some 16. 16 definitely comes up a little bit more, but considering we didn't have to pay anyone, we could have added that $1,000 into beautifying the house and just adding a little bit more interest and detail all over. So if you can, I highly recommend trying to handle some of these projects on your own. And if you can't, I definitely understand. I would tell you to go ahead and budget properly because this is really expensive. A couple of years ago, you probably could have got this done. Wood was not as expensive, so doing something like this wasn't so much. But the cost of wood has gone up, material is high. So, on top of labor in Atlanta being high, then the material itself is high. So then you end up really paying just as much for the material as you are for the labor, which is why, the entryway was going to be like four something. The bedroom was going to be like 2,000. The bathroom was like $800. And so I was like calculating all the costs. That alone would have been about 5,000. And so being able to do this work saved us a lot, okay, which is the benefit of Babe going to YouTube University. We get in the machine and we taking out a couple of hours to really figure out how to use the tools.
You gonna measure that other wall?
I already measured it.
Oh, where's that piece at?
Hold on. Okay, give us 5 minutes.
We literally got like one last piece to do.
Here you go. You gotta do the sides.
Yeah, I'll make sure that the sides is flush first. Hold on.
Let me give you the level. So you close it first.
So this is the most important part of the trim. I mentioned it earlier, but I want to go ahead and reiterate to you again. When you're doing the trim, even though I've penciled the wall and I did the measurement and I did use the level, I am still making sure that as we're going and moving forward with the nailing part of it, that we have a level, because it will be, okay, how can I explain it? The walls tend to look a little warped if all of the trim pieces aren't lined up. You can't really see it now because we're doing our best to make sure it's perfect. But on the fireplace, it looks a little warped, but it's not. It's the positioning of the trim that makes it look like that. So please, if you don't have a level, I highly recommend that you purchase one.
I'm gonna read my book.
Y'all, come in, y'all wait. Y'all can't see. Y'all can see. You're funny. No, girl. Ooh, that's very nice.
Let me just say that I am really, really, really proud of us. One of the first things that I noticed while we were dating is how effectively we were able to work together. And for some of y'all, maybe, I won't even say maybe, 100%, y'all didn't get the full scale of his project when we were working on his office. He did so much work because, again, we're in a position where we're trying to grow and build, and you just don't want to sit there and put forth all of your resources because you still have to live, right? And so there were so many opportunities to just say, you know what, we're going to pay for someone to do it. But then we're like, okay, we do want to move forward and do other things. So let's figure it out. And so we did quite a bit of work. But because this is my channel, I didn't want to take it over to where it was just him. And so I kept, minimized some of the work that was being done. And so for us to now be in a home together and we're working together yet again, but this time we're working on something that's for us, just makes me really, really happy and excited and very proud of Babe, because by any means, he is not the description that I would call handy, but he was always open to learn, always open to helping me, because things just happen very wrong just within my business when people don't show up. And so he kind of came on to the SBC team by way of love. Even with you guys watching the videos and me doing this, I'm watching it and I'm like, man, like we really did this. And so I'm just proud of us.
All right, you guys.
You think? No bananas.
No, this looks good.
Did you guys call somebody?
No, we didn't call anyone.
Your hand is shaking.
Don't talk to us. And hold it down.
Yeah, that looks good. Oh my gosh. That looks amazing. Do you think the people that had the house before, if they see the house, they'll be like...
I don't think they envisioned upstairs like that. I don't think they ever even thought about it.
You guys, I'm gonna take y'all upstairs real quick. Look at that. I love this. I hate that I couldn't get it around the door. It's too tight. Because the light fixture's right there, y'all. So I couldn't get a piece right here on this wall. But it looks really good. Let me show y'all upstairs in the hallway. This is the upstairs landing. And as you can see, now that all the rubbish is gone, if we had left it, it would have only been this much space. And it's just too tight. It's just too tight. All right, you know what else we gotta do? Go to Home Depot and get a shop vac.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is really good, y'all. This banister and the railing is, I'm gonna do it black just to kind of cover it until we figure out what we want to do with it. But we wasn't trying to change everything. We wanted to change the main problematic areas. So the landing, the stairs, and then of course adding some trim in the entry. Oh my gosh, babe! If you look at the view from up here, man, night and day. Night and day. So when I was doing the tour, I was like, this is me standing in the dining room.
Really?
Yes, and you can see it. So I'm gonna do a split screen so they can see what they look like before and what look. Oh my God! So pretty much in 6 months, it needs to screen. You have a new owner. Okay, so that's what we're working on. We ran out of floors, y'all, because of the extension that we did in a certain area. So we're gonna call for more flooring, but this is the only area. But right now, this is it. And the light by the door. You like?
I like it.
So let me go stand and be like, that's the dining over there. Okay, so, and then right here is where the dining is. The only thing that's really giving evidence of this is it still has some of that orange color. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing giving evidence. This is where they had their dining room. I'm going to change this light fixture, and I'm probably going to do a flush light up here because I don't believe the dining table is going to be able to be centered. I think it has to go over just a little bit. Other than that, this don't look like their house no more.
No, that's our house.
Oh, you guys. So basically what I ended up doing, I was going to tear this out, but instead of tearing it out, I was like, you know what, I'm going to leave it. And then I'm just going to bring it out into the hallway, but then take this all the way up. Instead of putting railings here, just leave it, because the railings would be for aesthetic purposes only. So I don't think it's worth the cost to like keep tearing stuff down at this point, because just going lighter in the color really opened up the hallway. So like it. This is all of the mess. We're coming here early in the morning to clean up. We did not do the kitchen floors. I'm gonna do a floor video. Oh my gosh. We didn't do the kitchen floors because the kitchen is gonna get done, and we were told by the cabinet company it was a bad idea to do the flooring before we had figured out everything for the cabinets. We should wait. So they did a transition piece right here. Then they're gonna run the rest of the floors. Hey babe, come here. But you guys, I'm gonna go. I gotta talk to him about a couple things. Instead of waiting for the reveal, I want y'all to see the door. Oh, we went bigger. I'm gonna do an overlay so you can see what the door looked like before we were here. Bless you. And this is where we saw mold. And so they changed this pieces here, and they still got to change here, but there was a lot of water damage. At some point I'll let y'all see in the basement, because all the material is in the basement. We're gonna have to change a lot of that stuff out, but we about to go, y'all. But overall, the house is looking divine. I love it.